Welcome to our Crypto News in 10, a daily podcast bringing you the latest news about crypto in under 10 minutes. Here's what's moving in crypto this Friday, January 2, 2026. A live wallet drain campaign quietly siphoning funds from hundreds of EVM wallets. Fallout from the Flow blockchain exploit that's left NFT borrowers in limbo. A consequential personnel move in Washington as the new CFTC chair taps a Bitcoin futures veteran as chief of staff. The Financial Times reports Iran is offering to accept crypto for ballistic missiles and drones, a major sanctions evasion twist, and Trump media says it will airdrop a new token to DJT shareholders in partnership with Crypto.com. Let's get into it. Story 1. A coordinated wallet drain operation is hitting users across multiple EVM chains. On-chain investigator Zach XBT flagged hundreds of wallets, losing relatively small amounts, typically under $2,000 per victim, with total losses around $107,000 and rising as of early today. He also highlighted a suspicious hub address that funds appear to be routing through. The root cause hasn't been confirmed, which is why this one's unnerving. It's not tied to a single protocol exploit. If you've been active on Ethereum, BNB Chain, Base, Arbitrum, or other EVMs over the holidays, this is the moment to rotate keys and prune token approvals. Source: The Block. Drilling down, early tallies showed roughly $54,000 siphoned on Ethereum and about $25,000 on BNB Chain, with smaller amounts on Base, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche. Investigators stress the attacker's low-noise tactic. Skimming many small balances helps avoid automated alerts. Again, causality isn't pinned down. Some watchers note the timing after last week's Trust Wallet browser extension incident, but that link remains speculative. Stay vigilant, use hardware wallets where possible, and revoke dormant approvals. Source: Gate News. Story 2. The Flow exploits ripple effects are hammering NFT lending. After a December 27th security incident that prompted Flow to pause its cadence execution environment until the morning of December 29th, NFT-backed loans on the Floaty platform started maturing while users couldn't transact. Out of 11 loans that came due during the pause, 8 defaulted and 2 couldn't settle due to account restrictions tied to the exploit. With token swaps still impaired across the ecosystem, Floaty suspended all settlements on December 30th at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. Loans won't repay or default. They're effectively in limbo until functionality normalizes. It's a textbook example of second-order risk when a base chain pauses. Source: The Block. There is progress. The Flow Foundation says it's moved into Phase 2 of recovery for what it pegs as a $3.9 million exploit, with developers restoring EVM functionality while continuing cadence fixes and executing audited cleanup transactions under validator-approved limits. But the episode shows how, even without direct user balance losses, a network halt can force unintended outcomes for borrowers and lenders and may take days to unwind. Source: Cryptopolitan. Story 3 heads to DC, where personnel is policy. New CFTC chair Michael S. Selig has appointed Amir Zaidi as his chief of staff. If that name rings a bell, Zaidi previously ran the CFTC's Division of Market Oversight and oversaw the certification and launch of the first US CFTC-regulated Bitcoin futures during the prior Trump administration. With Congress poised to advance digital asset market structure legislation that could expand the CFTC's role beyond derivatives into spot oversight, slotting in a futures market veteran signals an intent to move fast on rulemaking and supervision. Source: CFTC. Selig was sworn in on December 22nd and has framed this era as one where the agency will craft common-sense rules of the road for new financial markets. For crypto, that could mean clearer paths for exchanges and token markets operating under CFTC oversight, more explicit guardrails for retail access to derivatives, and a tighter handshake with the SEC on jurisdictional lines. Watch this space. Titles and org charts matter when the rulebook is evolving. Source: CFTC. Before we continue, here's a message from our sponsors.
Need elite developers fast? Elite Coders connects you with rigorously vetted senior engineers in 24 to 48 hours. Staff augmentation, dedicated teams, or full project delivery, we've got you covered. Visit elitecoders.co to get started today.
All right, let's get back to it. Story 4 is geopolitical and consequential. The Financial Times reports that Iran's Ministry of Defense Export Center, known as Mindex, is openly offering to accept cryptocurrency, alongside barter or rials, for exports of advanced weapons, including ballistic missiles, drones, warships, and short-range air defense systems. The FT says documentation and payment terms reviewed by its reporters confirm the crypto option, and notes the site hosting the program is on sanctioned Iranian infrastructure. This appears to be one of the first public nation-state level invitations to settle strategic arms in digital assets. Source: Financial Times. The program reportedly touts relationships with 35 countries and assurances that sanctions won't impede delivery. Beyond the obvious foreign policy implications, the crypto angle matters. Chain analytics make flows traceable, but mixers, cross-chain hops, and nested accounts can slow attribution. Expect renewed pressure on global compliance controls, travel rule implementation, exchange KYC, and sanctions screening for addresses tied to state-sponsored procurement. US and EU authorities will likely scrutinize any facilitators that touch these flows. Source: The Block. And Story 5. Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent of Truth Social, plans to distribute a new digital token to DJT shareholders via a partnership with Crypto.com, with issuance expected on the Kronos blockchain. The company says eligible investors will receive 1 token per whole share, and that tokens are intended to function as utility or rewards instruments tied to Trump media products. More program details will come this year. Shares rose around 4 to 5% on the announcement. Source: Globe Newswire. A few fine print items. The company signaled that tokens may not be transferable or exchangeable for cash, and won't themselves represent ownership interests, language clearly designed to thread securities law needles as federal agencies roll out new frameworks in 2026. The move deepens ties between Trump Media and Crypto.com, following a prior deal that saw DJT acquire hundreds of millions of CRO tokens for staking and rewards integrations. Source: Globe Newswire. Quick recap. A stealthy wallet drain campaign is picking off small balances across EVM chains. Check your approvals and rotate keys. The flow exploits second-order damage, shows why chain halts can break DeFi contracts even without direct balance losses. A crypto-savvy chief of staff at the CFTC hints at faster policy moves. Iran's willingness to accept crypto for weapons sales raises the stakes for sanctions compliance. And Trump Media's planned token drop with Crypto.com adds a very 2026 twist to shareholder perks. We'll keep tracking these threads as they develop. Thanks for listening, and see you tomorrow.